Saturday morning, 9:03 a.m. The kitchen was quiet until the phone rang. Nicole glanced at the screen. The name Sandra meant nothing to her.
Hello. Is this Nicole? I am Sandra. I need to tell you something. I am your husband's wife. She almost hung up. Prank call. But the voice was too steady. Please don't hang up. I have proof. I am sending it now.
A message appeared. A crisp photo of a marriage certificate. Date, 2017. Signatures, John Reeves and Sandra Miller. Then, more images. John at a birthday party, holding a little boy, John on a sofa with Sandra. Dates that overlapped her own anniversaries, a joint mortgage, a house 2 towns over. Nicole's hands started shaking.
11 years. 9 of them a lie.
Sandra's voice broke the silence. Can we meet? Today, Nicole answered before she could think. The daily grind, 11 a.m. After the call ended, Nicole stood frozen in her kitchen. The phone still clutched in her hand. The images burned into her memory.
He was with her last weekend. At a birthday party. While I believed he was in Atlanta.
She opened the mortgage document again. Their signatures, side by side. A house she'd never seen.
His other wife. His other son. For 9 years.
She picked up her phone to call John, then set it down. Her thumb hovered over his name. Then she locked the screen.
Number. Not yet. I need to see her first. I need to understand.
She moved through the next hour on autopilot, changed clothes, grabbed her keys, drove to the daily grind. The coffee shop was nearly empty. She chose a booth at the back, her back to the wall. Ordered a black coffee she wouldn't drink.
She'll walk in, and I'll know. If she's lying, I'll see it in her face.
The door chimed. A blonde woman in a modest cardigan stepped inside, her eyes scanning the room. Sandra spotted Nicole in the back booth. Their eyes met, and for a long moment, neither spoke. Then Sandra slid into the opposite seat, her hands trembling around a paper cup.
You said you had proof. I've seen it, but I need to know. How did you find me? His phone. He left it unlocked last month. I found your number and the texts. Wife with a heart emoji. I couldn't unsee it.
They began to compare notes, dates, excuses, absences. It fit like a jagged puzzle.
He told me he was a consultant, always on the road. But the weeks he was away, those were your weeks. 9 years. Every other week, he was with you and your son. And I had no idea. We could scream at each other. But it's not her fault, it's his. I should want to hate you, but I don't. We're both his victims. So what do? We don't confront him, not yet. We gather everything, bank statements, property deeds, taxes, then burn him with the truth. Together.
3 days later, they sat shoulder to shoulder in a forensic accountant's office. Stacks of bank statements and mortgage papers spread before them. The accountant pointed to a withdrawal from Sandra's joint account. The memo line read, Nicole mortgage payment.
He drained my son's college fund. To pay your mortgage?
Nicole flipped through her own statements and found a brokerage account in John's name only. $200,000 she'd never seen.
A secret account. He was hiding money from both of us. I spoke with my lawyer. Since my marriage is the only legal one, yours is void, but you can claim equitable distribution under state law. We can file together. Then we go after him for bigamy. Felony charges. He'll lose everything. He won't see it coming. Not until the papers hit his desk.
By the end of that week, they had retained a shared forensic accountant and 2 attorneys. The asset map totaled $1.6 million, and they knew exactly how to split it. All they needed was a date. That evening, with John supposedly in Cincinnati, Nicole knelt in front of the filing cabinet, sorting bank records into a growing binder.
3 more statements and the trail will be airtight. He won't be back until Thursday.
The front door opened. Nicole froze. John's voice echoed from the hallway.
Honey, I forgot my tablet. Traffic was a mess, so I just came home.
Nicole slammed the drawer shut, her heart pounding as his footsteps approached.
What are you doing on the floor? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Just sorting old files. You scared me. I thought you were in Ohio.
John's eyes lingered on the cabinet for a beat too long. Then he shrugged, grabbed his tablet, and kissed her cheek.
He knows something is off. We can't wait weeks. We need to move now.
Her phone buzzed as she texted Sandra. He came home early. I covered, but barely. File by next Tuesday. The reply, I am with you. Let's finish this.
You've been distant lately, Jumpy. Anything you want to tell me?
Just stressed with that charity project. Deadlines piling up.
2 days later, Sandra's son chattered into the phone during John's bedtime call. Daddy, I drew a picture of you and Mommy and Aunt Nicole.
Oh, honey, Nicole is just a mom from daycare. She comes over for coffee sometimes.
John hung up, staring at the screen. His jaw tightened.
Nicole, he's connecting dots. My son mentioned you. I had to lie about daycare. We can't wait until next Tuesday. 3 days max, or he'll find out. Meet me at the park tomorrow morning.
They met on a cold park bench, their breath misting in the dawn air as they finalized the last details.
My lawyer says we can file electronically at 9 a.m. If we both click submit at the same time, he'll get served within the hour. Thursday, 9 a.m. He won't see it coming.
That night, Sandra's phone call came after midnight.
Nicole, I can't do this. He's still my son's dad. What if my boy hates me for destroying his father? He's a liar who stole 9 years from us both. Your son deserves the truth, not a man who betrays everyone he claims to love. But the truth will break him. He loves his daddy. He'll never forgive me. Then we'll get through it together. We're the only ones who understand this nightmare. I won't abandon you after.
Sandra's sobs quieted. Nicole could hear her struggling to breathe. In the dim bedroom, a crayon drawing of 2 houses hung on the wall.
You promise? Even after, we'll still be there for each other? I promise. Thursday at 9 a.m., we hit send, and then we rebuild.
A long silence, then Sandra's voice, small but steady.
Okay. Thursday, 9 a.m., let's finish this. For both our kids.
The next morning, Nicole met her attorney in a glass-walled office downtown. He laid out the petition.
You are saying abandonment is our strongest argument? Half his weeks were spent with her.
Across town, Sandra's lawyer explained the complexities of a void marriage. No spousal status, but a strong palimony claim.
So my marriage was never real, but I still get my share. That's all that matters now.
By afternoon, the 2 women met at the law library to synchronize their filings. Each petition would cite bigamy and fraud.
My lawyer says the evidence is airtight. John can't talk his way out of this. The accountant emailed the final report. 1.6 million total. My household gets the house and about 800,000. Yours gets the primary residence and the remaining assets. Every dollar is accounted for. He built this lie for 9 years. Thursday morning, it collapses in 1 minute.
2 petitions, 2 courts, 1 coordinated filing. At exactly 9 a.m. on Thursday, they would click submit, and John's double life would shatter. On a quiet Saturday, 2 days before the filing, Nicole and Sandra returned to the same park bench. The morning was cold, but their resolve held steady.
3 more days. Are you ready for this? Honestly, I am terrified. But I am more afraid of waking up in a lie than starting over.
Sandra reached into her bag, her hand trembling, and pulled out a tiny silver locket.
This is for you. My son's picture is inside, so we never forget who we're protecting.
Nicole opened the locket, saw the small photo, and pressed it to her heart.
For all of them.
A long silence passed. Then Sandra spoke, her voice steadier than before.
What if he shows up at the house before the paperwork arrives? Then he'll find an empty house and a note, but he won't. Thursday at 8:55 a.m., we text ready. At 9 o'clock, we burn it all down.
Wednesday evening, the house was silent. Nicole placed the wedding album and a small stack of photos into a box, then taped it shut with finality.
I loved a ghost. 11 years of believing a man who never existed.
She pushed the box into the closet, then stood in the dark bedroom, the faint outline of John's side of the bed untouched. At Sandra's house, she tucked her son into bed, his small hand clutching a stuffed dinosaur. She read the last page of his favorite story, her voice barely steady.
Tomorrow, we start over. No more lies, no more waiting.
Both phones, in separate houses, were set to 5:59 a.m. The alarm buzzed before dawn. Nicole sat up, feet on the cold floor, the locket resting against her chest.
This is it. I will not back down now.
At 8:55 a.m., both phones lit up with a single word, ready. The reply was immediate, ready. Then the clock inched toward 9. At 8:58 a.m., as the clock ticked toward their deadline, Nicole's phone buzzed. The screen read, John. She nearly dropped it.
Hello.
Don't play dumb. My lawyer sent a notice about some forensic accountant digging into my accounts. What the hell is going on? Nicole, I know something's off.
He's on to us, Stahl. A notice? That's strange. Maybe it's a scam. Let me call our accountant to look into it.
John exhaled sharply, muttered something unintelligible, and hung up without another word. Her fingers flew across the screen. He just called. Says a lawyer sent a notice about his accounts. Do we wait? Sandra's reply came before she finished reading. Number 9 a.m. We go, now or never. Don't let him shake you.
Now. No turning back.
At exactly 9 o'clock, in 2 different houses, 2 women clicked their trackpads. The court received both divorce petitions simultaneously, the first strike in a plan that would dismantle John's double life. Nicole stared at the confirmation on her screen. The words "filing complete" blurred for a moment. Then she picked up her phone and called Sandra.
Mine's filed. Yours? Filed. Now the hard part.
Within minutes, process servers were dispatched to John's office. A manila envelope carrying Nicole's petition, another with Sandra's. The trap was set. John was at his cubicle, reviewing a quarterly report. His desk phone buzzed, a sharp intrusion. The receptionist's voice crackled through the line. Mr. Reeves, someone from the county legal department is in the lobby. They say it's urgent.
Legal department? What the hell now? First, the notice, now this.
He pushed himself up, a knot forming in his stomach. Meanwhile, in 2 quiet houses, 2 women checked their phones every 30 seconds. A text from Sandra flashed on Nicole's screen. How long does this take? Nicole didn't reply. She just stared at the clock, watching the second hand crawl toward the inevitable. The man in the gray suit walked straight to John's cubicle. He held a manila envelope, expression unreadable. The man extended the envelope. John Reeves, you have been served. John ripped it open. The top page read Petition for Dissolution of Marriage. Petitioner, Nicole Reeves. His face went pale.
Divorce. She can't do this. Unless she knows everything. Pick up, Nicole. Pick up the damn phone.
The call went straight to voicemail. Her recorded greeting, cheerful and familiar, now sounded like a lie. He slammed the phone onto the desk. Coworkers stared. John grabbed his coat, muttering, "Family emergency," and headed for the exit. He didn't wait for the elevator, taking the stairs 2 at a time. The parking lot was just ahead. In her kitchen, Nicole watched John's name blink on her own phone. She let it ring. Then the voicemail notification appeared. She didn't listen. Instead, she sent a text to Sandra. First one served. He's panicking. Second one is on the way. Be ready. John burst into the parking lot. The first divorce papers still crumpled in his fist. A second man in a dark jacket stepped forward. John Reeves. The man raised another envelope. You've been served a second time. Petitioner, Sandra Miller. John tore it open. 2 petitions. 2 wives. His face contorted in disbelief.
No. 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 No.
He stood paralyzed between cars. Coworkers stared from the office windows. His double life was over. With a guttural shout, he threw the papers onto the passenger seat, slammed the door, and sped off. Tires screeched. Nicole's phone buzzed. She read the message without expression. Service complete. both petitions accepted by John Reeves. Sandra's phone lit up with the same text. She closed her eyes and exhaled. Neither woman called the other. They already knew. The plan had worked, and now they would face the aftermath together. The calls started that afternoon. John's number lit up every 15 minutes. First rage, then a trembling plea. Nicole let it ring. The voicemail transcript appeared on her screen. "How dare you ruin me? I'll fight this with everything I have." She deleted it without listening. Then another, his voice breaking. "Nicole, please, we can work this out. I made a mistake." She deleted that too, then blocked the number.
No more. No more lies.
That evening, headlights swept across her driveway. John's car. She didn't move. The knocking grew into pounding. His roar filtered through the door. "Nicole, open up." She dialed the non-emergency number, her voice steady as she reported a disturbance.
The lawyer just called. He filed for a temporary restraining order. He won't come near my son. It was the right thing. The only thing.
John's frantic texts to both women went unanswered. Even his own lawyer advised silence. The marital homes were now fortified by law. Behind those walls, Nicole and Sandra stood together, each blocking his number, each refusing to hear his version. The legal machine would speak for them now. The courtroom was stark. The forensic accountant uploaded the final report to the overhead monitor. He traced a line of red on the chart. $400,000 moved across state borders. Money neither wife knew existed. Nicole and Sandra sat in the second row, shoulders almost touching. Neither blinked at the numbers. The district attorney summarized. "This isn't just infidelity. It's systemic fraud. We're filing bigamy charges effective immediately." The judge accepted the filing. No gavel struck, but the weight of the decision pressed through the silent room. Nicole's phone lit up that evening. Breaking news alert. Local engineer charged with bigamy after dual divorce filing. Sandra saw the same headline on her own phone. For the first time in weeks, her shoulders dropped, a long exhale escaping.
It's really over. He can't hurt anyone else now. It's really happening. He's done.
By dawn, John Reeves sat in a holding cell, his golf shirt swapped for County Orange. In two quiet houses, two women made coffee in silence, the weight finally lifting. The trial commenced on a gray Tuesday. Nicole took the stand first, her voice steady despite the weight.
I opened our home to a ghost. He stole years not just from me, but from another family. He told our son he'd always be there. Now, I have to explain why Daddy can't come home.
The judge summarized. Given the egregious fraud, the court grants both petitions. Bigamy conviction stands. Both houses will be sold, assets divided per the forensic report. John sat stone-faced as his double life was dismantled legally. Outside the courthouse, moving vans were already scheduled. John's possessions were packed into boxes, hauled away from both houses where he had built separate lives. In the courtroom hallway, Nicole and Sandra exchanged a single look, not triumph, but a shared exhaustion that said it was truly over. They walked out together, not as enemies, but as survivors of the same wreckage. By week's end, the marital assets had been split. Each woman held a decree, a check, and the keys to a fresh start.
We didn't get justice for revenge. We got it to be free.
Months after the verdict, Nicole and Sandra stood in the hollowed living room, packing the last remnants of a house that had held so many lies.
I found this behind the water heater. A photograph he kept of both families, dated 2 years apart.
The image was split. On one side, John grinning with Nicole's family. On the other, John with Sandra's. A single shot of his double life.
You do the honors. Burn it.
Sandra struck the match and dropped it into the metal bin. The flame caught the photo's edges, curling the faces into ash.
I am not sorry I called you. Neither am I.
Through the window, their children chased a soccer ball in the backyard, shrieking with laughter. The photo was now cinders. The last trace of John Reeves, gone.
For the first time, the future felt like ours.
The local news van pulled up to the curb as they loaded the last box. Nicole straightened her shirt and walked out.
We didn't do this for revenge. We did it for the truth and for our children.
By nightfall, The video had been shared thousands of times. The hashtag #2wives was trending. Messages flooded in from strangers. Women who'd survived betrayal, couples who'd found strength in their story.
They aren't just angry on our behalf. They feel seen.
John, still on probation, declined to comment. He'd already lost everything that mattered. Nicole turned off notifications. The public validation was enough, but her peace mattered more.
We told our story. Now we get to live it without looking back.
And they did. The two women went back inside, the news van driving away, their children laughing in the yard. 1 year to the day since they filed, Nicole and Sandra met at a small Italian restaurant. No lawyers, no documents, just candlelight and a shared bottle of wine.
Same day next year? Wouldn't miss it.
They clinked glasses. To shared ex-husbands, they said in unison, then burst into laughter. They talked about downsized homes, new jobs, and how the kids now shared birthday parties, cousins in every way but blood.
Remember John's appeal? Denied. He actually argued the bigamy law was outdated. I had a new locket made, this time with both our kids' photos.
Nicole turned hers over in her fingers, the clasp identical to the one she still wore from a year ago.
We built something from the wreckage. Something real.
They made a pact to meet here every year on this date, not to remember the pain, but to celebrate the freedom. The dessert plates were nearly empty when Nicole leaned back in the booth. You know what's funny? People think we're crazy when we say we're friends with the other woman.
They can't wrap their heads around it, but they didn't live it. We're the only ones who understand.
The waitress returned with the check, smiling at their easy laughter. Can I ask, are you two sisters? Nicole and Sandra exchanged a look, a silent beat, then a shared laugh.
Something like that.
They paid, leaving a generous tip, and gathered their coats. The night air outside was crisp and inviting. They stepped outside, linking arms without thinking. The city lights blurred as they walked toward the parking lot.
Not sisters by blood, but family in every other way.
Their laughter echoed off the quiet storefronts. Two women who had once been strangers, now inseparable. And that was the last image. Their rescued lives a quiet triumph over the man who had tried to break them both. The two suburban houses stood empty, identical sold signs staked in the front yards. Only echoes of a double life remained inside. John Reeves' booking photo appeared briefly in the local news, then faded into silence. But the real picture wasn't in a mugshot. It was in the children laughing, backyards full of soccer balls and birthday balloons. A framed photograph sat on Sandra's mantel, the first coffee shop meeting, slightly faded. Nicole looked out her window, the locket cool against her skin.
My husband had a second family, and that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
She said it aloud, and for the first time, the words didn't hurt. Outside, the kids chased the sun, and the world felt newly made, and the photo on the mantel held the image of two women who had turned betrayal into a bond no one could break. And sometimes the worst calls are the ones that save your life.